Hello, loves. Welcome to my YouTube channel where we explore all things tarot and self-discovery. Today, we're talking about shadow work and how tarot can be a powerful tool for eliminating our shadows and helping us to transform and grow. Shadow work, if you don't know, is the process of exploring and healing the parts of ourselves that we don't often acknowledge or even confront. These are often our insecurities, our fears, and our unconscious biases that can hold us back from being our best selves. Tarot, I think anyway, is a powerful tool for shadow work because it allows us to explore these hidden parts of ourselves in a safe and a non-judging way. So by engaging in a collective tarot reading, we can gain insight and guidance from the collective unconsciousness and connect with others who are on their own journey of self-discovery. During a collective tarot reading, we're going to draw cards and we're going to interpret their meanings in the context of our own lives. We'll explore the challenges and the opportunities that are present in our lives and how we can use the wisdom of the tarot to move forward and make positive changes. One of the benefits of a collective tarot reading is that it allows us to connect with others who are also engaged in shadow work. This can be a powerful source of support and encouragement as we all navigate the challenges and the transformations that come with this work. So, if you're ready to delve into your shadows and you're ready to explore the parts of yourself that you've been avoiding, let's jump on into this collective tarot reading. Together, we can use the wisdom of the tarot to shed light on the shadows and embrace all of our full potential. Are we ready? Let's begin. Let's find out, what have you been oppressing or ignoring in relation to your best and highest good? Oh my. Well, it looks like all the cards wanted to come out at once. Let's try that again. What have you been oppressing or ignoring to that, in relation to your highest good? Well, interesting here what we have. Where's my camera? There we go. The Wheel of Fortune. So we're talking about Sagittarius and Pisces showing up. For some of you who are Sagittarius and Pisces, this is specifically for you. When we're talking about what you've been oppressing or ignoring, part of this is understanding timing. Some of you are trying to understand regarding your shadow, because this is about timing. You kind of think of as time is linear, and you kind of feel like I should have moved on past this. I should have, that was 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. Why is this still haunting me? I've slept since then. I've had experiences since then. Why is this still bothering me? And the fact of the matter is that until you take the time to unpack it, until you take the time to, get into your shadow and understand how it is impacting you. And by that, I mean, when your shadow is impacting you, it demonstrates symptoms, okay? There's tons and tons and tons of different symptoms that can be everything from, avoidance, fear. It can be self-loathing. There's all sorts of ways your shadow shows up. But regardless, this one specific aspect is asking what you've been oppressing or ignoring in relation to your highest good. And when the Wheel of Fortune comes up, and especially in reverse, they're saying that you think that there's no reason you shouldn't have moved on from something. You're kind of oppressing what you're feeling, in other words, about a certain subject, a certain thing, a certain memory, a certain event or person, because it happened a long time ago. And why am I still feeling like this? Shouldn't I have already moved on? And so you're kind of oppressing your feelings or emotions when they come up, okay? So why have you been ignoring or oppressing this? Why have you been oppressing your feelings about old things, old events, people, because you don't want to? I'm sorry, y'all. I have a new camera. As you can tell, I'm trying to work out where I'm supposed to hold my card. The Knight of Cups. Okay, look, y'all. Why have you? Because you're afraid. You're afraid of what it's going to bring. You see, there's that knight bringing that cup. Now, this is the Ace of Cups that they have in their hand. And in this case, this is normally an offer of love, like they're bringing you love. But that's the thing, is that when we're looking at the shadow and it feels like, why is it when I think of this situation or this thing that happened to me, do I still feel this way? Why have I not let go of this feeling? It's because you're not giving yourself love. It's because you're not bringing grace and compassion and love to the situation. You're looking at it as a very linear, black and white situation. Like everything should flow and just, hey, it happened yesterday, so today I'm just dealing with today. I shouldn't be thinking about yesterday. I shouldn't be feeling any kind of way towards yesterday, right? And that's the thing. If you've completely, here's the thing, especially if something happened to you a long time ago and at the time you didn't process it, at the time you didn't integrate your emotions and your feelings and allow yourself to heal that, so that in the future, when something similar to that happens, you don't get triggered, or so that when that memory just sort of pops up, you're watching TV or somebody brings up something you hadn't thought of in a long time, and all of a sudden there's that memory, those feelings that come flooding into you, you're not suppressing them. Okay, this is about giving yourself grace. This is about giving yourself compassion and love. Okay, and so they say, why have you been ignoring or suppressing this? It's because you're almost afraid to look at what those feelings bring you, what those emotions bring you, what those memories bring you, because you feel like, oh, I shouldn't be feeling this way. It's been so long. Why haven't I moved on? Well, it's because probably and more than likely at the time you didn't give yourself the opportunity to process it and heal. And so it just keeps coming back up because you need to heal it. No matter how, I don't care if it was a century ago, if you're feeling some kind of way about it and those feelings are impacting you and they are causing symptoms, they're causing trauma, they are causing impact, then you got to look at them. It's time to deal with them. And it's time to quit suppressing and repressing and oppressing. You like all those things repressing, y'all? Okay, how? How can you overcome this? How can you... Well, that's too many cards. Let's try that again. How can we overcome this? 8 of Wands. So this is very interesting energy. The 8 of Wands normally is very fast moving energy. You see how those wands are just flying through the air. You don't know if they're being thrown or if maybe, like in a battle, or if maybe they're, flying, like somebody's playing with them. It's kind of hard to tell, but it's fast moving energy. And it's also about being able to communicate with people in a way that is understood. And so it says, how can you help? How can you overcome this? It's time to slow down. It's time to not be rushing past when these feelings, when these emotions come up about this past event that you feel, you're like, why am I still feeling this way? When that comes up, it's time to slow down. I want you to notice this is the Knight of Cups, not the Knight of Wands, not the Knight of Swords. This is one of the slowest moving cards in the deck. The second slowest card in the deck. The slowest is the Knight of Pentacles. But the Knight of Cups is very slow, and you'll notice that all 4 of the horse's feet are on the ground because this is a very grounded situation. So that's the thing. They need you to slow down. They need you to ground yourself. In other words, come back into your body. Sometimes the easiest thing for that is to do, start paying attention to your breath. Start, what do you see? What do you hear? What do you feel? What can you taste something? Can you hear, taste, touch, smell? Can you smell something? Reach over and touch something like a plant or a crystal or a stone, or get outside, put your feet on the earth, but ground yourself, come into your body, okay? That's the first thing they need you to do, because very often when we're having these memories, these emotions, these feelings from our past, it's our body, when we're having a memory, very often your body can't tell the difference from experiencing it then and experiencing it now. Time is irrelevant. You're reliving it in your mind, and so your mind is is expressing itself through those chemical releases of those hormones and chemicals that you experienced the first time, and including, it could be worry, anxiety, fear, whatever you were feeling, whatever emotion you may have been feeling, whatever strong negative attachment you have, that may come back. And the thing is to slow down and get back into your body first. Okay, slow down. Let's get back into our body. Let's focus on our breathing. And remember, this is just a memory and it can't hurt us. Okay. And then that it has no power over us. It only has the power we give it. Remember that. It only has the power we give it. Okay. And the second thing is to have some honest communication with yourself. This is what this is, the card of communication. Nobody's coming to save you from this. You're going to have to save yourself. If you're feeling some kind of way and that feeling and that emotion is literally and truly overwhelming you to feel, and it's stopping you in your tracks, and that's an interesting thing, because you notice that motorcycle is upside down. It's stopped in its tracks. Okay, if that feeling, if that emotion, when you're thinking about that, comes back up and it stops you in your tracks, and it's time to take your power back. Okay. And so that's the biggest thing. How can you overcome this? Come back into your body, take control of what you're feeling, take control of your emotions. And then, and only when you feel safe, do you begin to process that. Then you begin to feel, here's the thing. Just because it was 20, 30 years ago, if it still upsets you and you need to cry, cry. If you need to journal, journal. If you need to put it all down and light it up on fire and let it go, do that. But what we need to do is we need to own it. We need to name it. First of all, you got to name it to claim it. Okay. What am I feeling? What do I want to feel? And what do I need to do to make that happen? Okay. So step one, let's get back into our body. Slow down. Take a breath. Step two, name it to claim it. What am I feeling? What do I want to feel? What do I need to do to feel it? Once you've got all three of those steps, do what you need to do to feel it so that you can claim that emotion. You can feel what you're feeling, shift your energy into something else and release it. Okay, this is about transmuting that energy and feeling it, transmuting it, understanding its impact on your body and letting it go. Okay, because we don't want to continue to have that shadow dimming the sun that's trying to pour in over us. Okay, we want that light. We don't want that shadow to dim the light, right? Okay, so the very last card is where to pull strength or help from to assist in overcoming this. Look at what you got. Look there, the Queen of Swords. She is in reverse. So this is the Queen of wisdom, of understanding, of knowledge, right? She really takes her time and slows down and gets to know things. But when we're in reverse, let me just get a little bit clarity here. I just want to make sure I don't want to steer you wrong, but I'm telling you, it says where to pull strength or help from to assist. Right. I love it when tarot clarifies what I was thinking perfectly. Look, you have the Eight of Swords, which is being a prisoner of your own choice. Okay, this is the only person holding you back is yourself. Okay, the only person stopping you from succeeding is yourself. And so where to draw strength is, this is not to look outside of you. Okay, this is not to sit on the throne and judge other people's experiences. And that's kind of the thing. What they're trying to say is that this is not the time to be looking at other people's experiences. Okay, and seeing how, because very often we draw our wisdom or our maybe guidance for our paths from other people's paths. Like we see how they handle it, how it turned out for them, and we kind of determine whether we want to follow that similar path, take the similar steps. This is not to look outside of you, but to look at how this energy, how these emotions that you have not processed, that you're still holding on to, that you're kind of beating yourself up for, like, why do I feel this way? How is it impacting you? When that energy comes up, what is it stopping you? You need to understand. So let's say that you're feeling some kind of way about an ex, and this could be somebody that you broke up with 25 years ago. You've been happily married for the last 22 years. You're got children, moved on, have a life, nothing. This person has no bearing in your life. You haven't even spoken to them in 25 years. But for some reason, somebody brings them up and you start thinking about them in your head. All of a sudden, you're pissed and you're hurt and you're angry all over again. Okay, that pissed, that hurt, that angry. When it has to do with an ex-lover, that is your sacral chakra, right? Your sacral chakra. Now you're putting a block there because this is unprocessed energy. If there is a block on your sacral chakra, you are now blocking your creation. If you're blocking creation, not only are you blocking the receiving of love, but you're also blocking the receiving of abundance and wealth, because creation, love and sex, and creation and abundance and wealth are two sides of the same coin. Okay, so that's how it's impacting you. If you're still holding on to that, and if it still keeps coming up, whenever it comes up, it may not come up at once a decade, but when it does, if you still feel this, if it hasn't just simmered down and gone away, if you can't think about that without just, without that intense energy of emotion and feeling, And you need to see how is it impacting you, because there is causing blocks to your alignment. And if you have misalignment, guess what? You're going to keep, you're not going to be your best and highest self. Literally, that's just the easiest answer. But misalignment, if you're misalignment in one direction, let's say you're misaligned in finances and wealth, well, then you're also going to be misaligned in love. And if you're misaligned in love, you're going to be misaligned, that's relationships. And you're also being misaligned in relationships with friends and family and coworkers and associates and strangers. And then if you're misaligned with that, all of that is going to impact the misalignment of your health. And that is going to impact the misalignment with your mental, physical, spiritual, and emotional health. So all of these things do not stand alone. They're all connected. Okay. And so understanding how are you and what you're feeling, even if it's old, even if this is old news, when it comes up and if you feel something and it hits your heart and it hits your solar plexus, you're like, understand when you feel that in your body. And that's another thing. When we're asking what steps should we take, when we get into our body, feel where are you feeling that emotion? Because that'll give you a clue of which part of your chakra system probably needs to be cleaned up. And also, if that is blocked, where that is causing the blockage in your life. You think about it, your crown and your third eye, this is the connection to the higher self, this is the connection to the psychic gifts and all of that, to the fourth, fifth dimension and beyond. Your throat, your chakra, that's your self-expression. Your heart, that's your love and the way you love things. Your solar plexus, that's you and your identity and how you connect to your identity. Your sacral, that's your creativity and wealth, right? And abundance and flow. And then of course your root, that's your connection to your family, to your past, to where you're going, to the path that you're on. So I'm being grounded as well. So where you feel that come into your body, the tension in your body, when you think about it, that's where we also need to focus on releasing that tension. Okay. All right. So I hope that you enjoyed this. If you did, please make sure you subscribe to my channel or give this video a thumbs up, share it with somebody who might enjoy it. I thank you for watching, and I hope to see you at our next reading. Much love to y'all. Bye.